Hello, everyone. This is Scooby.
And that means I'm Steven. Welcome back to another episode of The Feedback where Scoobs and I come to hang out, share a song with each other, with you, the listener, as well. Kind of decide what we're feeling by that song. Hopefully, something new, maybe not, who knows. But we kind of listen to it, discuss how it makes us feel, what it makes us think of, where we can see ourselves listening to it, or similar songs in that sense. We will talk about the video as well when it's there, or the lyrical content, depending on how much there is and how heavy it is. That being said, Scoobs brought the song for us today, and he's going to let us know what that is shortly. But first, I want to let you know that I brought 3 drinks today. I'm back up on my bullshit, getting way too many beverages, but I got that good old liquid agua. Water is the what is it? Water is wet. Yeah, water is wet.
Is it?
Yes, I will fight you.
Okay.
It doesn't make things wet. It is itself wet. Anyway, it does make things wet too. Don't get me wrong, but it is wet. Water is wet. I have a hard green tea from Arizona because they made those spiked beverages. I think you brought those
hmm
before, right?
I had the lemonades. I have not had the teas.
Ah, yeah. I have a green tea with it's the ginseng and honey, normal stuff, but it's got that good old maltiness in there. And then that's the hard tea. Last but not least, as has become somewhat routine for me now, is I'm not just having a good time. I'm having a Baja Blast.
Oh man,
Scoops, what are your drinks and what's the song?
I only have 2 drinks today. I got water, of course, and I also have a 7-Up. Not a tropical 7-Up, just a regular 7-Up. And I have to say, I haven't. This is going to sound probably bad. It's probably going to give people a bad image of me. But I haven't had Taco Bell in like 2 weeks, and that's a long time for me.
When you first said like a bad image of you and you haven't had it in 2 weeks, I'm like, no, I think people will be proud of you. And then when you said it's not a long time, I'm like, you know what? I'm on the same boat, so I'm not going to judge, but others might.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's be clear. We all know fast food isn't good, but Taco Bell honestly isn't that bad for you, comparatively speaking. I'm not saying it's healthy, because it ain't.
No,
But
but I'm pretty sure you're right though. Like, didn't they say like other than the fact that they do have like the cantina menu, I'm pretty sure it was like ranked to the top like healthiest choices when it comes to fast food because of that.
yeah,
Plus, they don't
yeah,
have French fries, so that whole deep fried
yeah.
grease part thing is kind of remiss.
I mostly just I love the nachos and cheese. Anyways, I'm glad I could profess my love for Taco Bell a little bit. But today's song is something a little different for me. I was sort of inspired by last week's episode, Mac Miller and Thundercat, and I wanted to pick something a little bit in that vein. And I remembered a track that I heard not that long ago, actually, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is a fairly new track, and it is by the band Cure for Paranoia, who I'd never heard before I listened to this song. And the track is called No Brainer. Now, genre wise, I'm going to say as an umbrella genre, they are listed as alternative hip hop. But there's a lot going on underneath that umbrella, including, of course, live instrumentation, which is part of why I enjoy it so much, but also dance music, rap, R&B, funk, and jazz. A lot of different stuff going on there. The core group is composed of Cameron McLeod, J Analog, and Tomahawk Jones, but the particular performance that I'm picking today, it's a live performance. It's actually been submitted for NPR Tiny Desk.
Oh, very
And
cool.
I don't know how long the voting is going on. I don't know the results, if it's done or not yet. But this performance is something. And there are 11 musicians and performers in this performance.
Oh wow,
So, if they get on Tiny Desk, it's going to be very crowded if they bring the whole group.
it's gonna be a cram desk.
Now, the other thing about this is that the original version is from their album Work of Art, which came out last year in 2025. This version actually adds an extra verse, and I have not heard the original, actually. I
Okay.
plan to go back and check it out. If it's the third verse that they added to this, and I believe it is, comparing the lyrics, because there's actually two different lyric pages
Oh,
for the
interesting.
original version and for this Tiny Desk submission.
Okay.
And I do think it is the last verse that is added on.
Can we talk about that name again? Tomahawk Jones?
Tomahawk Jones, and it's Jones spelt with a Z.
And who are they? Because that name's badass.
They are the producers,
Ah, okay,
Jay
okay, okay.
Analog and Tomahawk Jones, and the main composer and lyricist is Cameron McLeod.
Is that Analog is the other person's name too?
Jay Analog. I got to imagine these are stage names.
J Analog has got to be. Tomahawk Jones, I'm assuming also stage name. What was the last one? I'm sorry.
Cameron McLeod.
Cameron McLeod. Yeah, they sound
See,
like stage
that
names.
that could be a real one.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I will stymie here and say that that one could be the only real one. But I really, J Analog, 100%, in my opinion, stage name. Tomahawk Jones with the Z. The Z throws it. If there was no Z,
Yeah,
I'd think, okay, this kid is really cool
maybe.
or big doucher. But the Z makes me feel like it has to be a stage name.
I recognize Cameron McLeod in the album art for this single, and I don't know which is which. You'll see it when I send you the lyrics page.
Okay.
I feel like J Analog is on the left, and Tomahawk Jones has got to be the dude wearing a long skirt on the right.
I would have to say, based on that, I would, I think that might be right.
And I'm not throwing any shade.
No, no,
Let's be
no.
clear. Like, wear what you want, live your truth, man.
You just feel like the names and the statements that coincide.
Yeah. Real quick, that makes me want to jump on a soapbox and say everyone is being very, very mean to Caleb Shomo from Beartooth for their new music video.
I'm unfamiliar.
He cut his hair and he shaved and he's wearing makeup and he's bare chested. So everyone's like, "Oh, Caleb Shomo, more like Caleb Homo." And it's like, guys,
Wow.
fuck all of you, for real.
That's pretty sad.
The song is also called Free, and I'm pretty sure it's about him becoming more comfortable in his own skin, and this is the reaction he gets. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of dicks.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, music fans are the worst fans.
No, I would say more oftentimes than not. But also,
But not our fans.
no, because we're not
That's
making
right.
music. We're just making critiques of music.
And they're almost always positive.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say critiques, right? They're more like, I don't even know.
Compliments. Sure.
Flatterings.
Yeah.
We've
Should
had
I
our critiques. Not many.
We have. Not many, though. Should I list
Okay.
off all the musicians? There's a lot. There's a lot.
You said there's like 10 or 11, right?
11. Yeah.
I think it's another one of those ones where we need to make sure that if we're not giving them credit, there's somewhere where it's very obvious that they're getting credit.
Oh, they're all listed in the credits for the song.
Perfect.
So,
And we should start putting those if we're not already in the descriptions. I don't know that we are. I should probably look at our descriptions better. I look at the ones that you make for the podcasts, but I don't notice what you put on the YouTube one because I haven't looked at any of our YouTubes.
it's the
Man,
same exact. I just look. I'll be honest. I copy and paste it.
that's smart. I like that strategy. I think, yeah. I think if it's not, yeah, we should copy and paste their accreditations for the artists maybe soon.
Will do.
Maybe.
Well,
I'm thinking. Anyway.
since I'm not going to list off the 11 musicians on this track, I think that it might be time to just jump into it because I'm very curious to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
am going to say we do our best to not get political on this show. This song will have some political statements, and I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll discuss it. We might say what we agree with, what we don't, etc. And, I mean, I think I know which side we're going to fall on. But we won't make a big deal out of it. Let's just say it that way. Yes? No?
I wasn't sure if you wanted a response from me or not at this point.
Yeah. I feel like we're, we align on our thoughts on that pretty well. So
I would agree. I think we do our best to keep it as PG as possible. when that comes. I guess, or PC. I don't know, whatever the proper term is. We definitely don't get into it too much. We have here or there on occasion, but I don't know that it's ever like actually been full on political discourse.
Right.
I would agree, but I don't know what's gonna happen here, so that's why I was biting my tongue a little bit.
Well, let's listen to the song, and we'll get our thoughts out there afterwards. How's that sound?
That sounds good. And I was gonna say too, I do have a fairly good reason to trust you and your thoughts on things and your output on them. So I feel like you're probably right. We'll probably be pretty good about it.
Well, yeah, I think so too. All right, so we're going to jump into this track. This is going to be No Brainer, the Tiny Desk submission version by Cure for Paranoia.
Everybody go left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. I lost my mind, I complaining. Go. I got my beats all in the gym. I got my beats off YouTube. Now what's the way you talk when you talk to him? Crooked dart on the wall, got a screw loose. Better drop a hose, hate me this hype beats. I don't like your song cause I like me. This a wet t-shirt contest, now I'm dripped out, tits out. Yup, I'm a white tee. I don't write no songs, I'm a lefty. Got a ghost rider with me like Nick Cage. I don't write my wrongs cause I'm left brain. I'm not gay no more, I'm just insane. Tour bus a white van without no place. I'm a sponsor alive by my own name. I don't fall in love with him, I just role play. Trauma bond 0079 chase. Left brain, right brain, oh. Left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. I lost my mind, I complaining. Go left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. Left brain, right brain, no brain. I lost my mind, left, right brain going back and forth. Brain split down to the apple core. Social pierce ego, I'm a savage. Got 2 rules in me, I'ma feed a bad bitch. I'm a big bad wolf, yeah, I'm about to blow. Sinners outside, how I'm at your door. Not joke, I be kinda lame sometimes, but I can't change no Michael Moore. When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was straight. Go, nigga, I was playing. Back on my bullshit, matador. I be with my Labradors, pissing on my territory. I be getting tense, and I'm not about the category. I leave the hands, but I got this on the calendar. Keep a paranoia going crazy, that's the allegory. Crazy in the booth, my hallucinations auditory. Wait, left brain, right brain, no brainer. I lost my mind, and I could use a new one. Smoking off the cherry. Music be a nicotine. You won't feel the same. I know life is too short to waste the day. Like, I know life is too short, but I mean, life is too short. Yeah, you don't hear me complaining about it. To stay the same. Cause I mean, this is America, this is embarrassing, this is only the beginning. America. We need to take the whole country, then put it in rice, and then reset the factory settings. America. We need an apocalypse, probably. Oddly enough, I think even a rapture here wouldn't suffice. America. If Jesus came back to this planet, they'd see he was black and then say he was the Antichrist. They keep on talking, let's get to the bottom line. We spreading hate in the nation, demonetized. Don't be surprised when your head got a dollar sign talking the side of your... I apologize. What was the race of the 2 boys in Columbine? For the question, but I'm sure you got it right. I won't be silent, stop, put my neck on the line. Fly as a black pilot, and yes, I'm qualified. Hello, Gary. Need to move, okay, bombs dropping. Read the room, okay, bombs dropping. Bombs dropping, bombs dropping. Need to move, okay, bombs dropping. Need the room, okay, bombs dropping. Now read the room, okay, bombs dropping. Bombs dropping, bombs dropping. Leave the room.
The only business in America.
That is a very dense 2 minutes and 50 seconds. There's a lot going on there.
I would fully agree. Honestly, just for and I don't mean this as an insult because I don't know a better way to say it, but it felt like word vomit because of how much he had to say, but everything was so clear. I don't know how he did it.
Right?
And like that was just insane. How do you... Like, I've seen speed rappers before, and I've seen, like, Twista, and we all know about speed rappers. There's always the people that are trying to go faster than the next guy, verse after verse after verse. I mean, we all appreciate it. We see it. It's awesome. We see what Eminem can do. It's wild. It's insane. But then, to be doing this, it's even crazier. This is one of the parts of, like, when it gets into rap, and like you mentioned before, alt-hip-hop. Apparently I don't have a tongue. Alt-hip-hop, dance, funk, R&B, jazz, I hear it all. Which is crazy to think that it's under an umbrella that big and covering that many different things at once. But, like, it is. But this is the part where it gets into the hip hop genre where you're following. It's actually funny. I'm thinking of. I saw another Tom Cardy rather, video lately where he keeps reminding himself to stay on the beat pattern. Have you seen that one yet? The beat structure or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm thinking of that now in my head, and my brain's spiraling already. But like hearing all those different, like they're hitting on like on a metronome at that point. Not really, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a proper word for that, and I'm just brain farting on it, but like it's a different a different take on that kind of stuff, and I don't normally listen to that style, and it's neat. And I really liked hearing it because I like hearing what he had to say, because there was a lot that he had to say. And then another thing that I liked too, and I'm not sure what so you talked about having the lyric pages up, and we could talk about this more later, but there's a couple that are like, the lyrics are in quotes, and a few of them, they're song titles, but like there's one or two that I'm not familiar with. But anyway, what were your thoughts when you heard this one first? Hearing what was going on with all that stuff.
It took several listens because, as we've discussed before, my experience with rap and hip-hop is not, it's not huge. So what my mind gravitates more typically is the instrumentation, and there's a lot going on in the instrumentation as well. You've got a drummer, a percussionist, you've got two guys on electronics. So I think one is on, they call it sampling, and then the other one is, I guess, technically the DJ, quote unquote. That's kind of what Slipknot did with having their 9 members too. Like they had a DJ and a sampler. Mm-hmm. And then there's brass. There's a trumpet and a saxophone, a guitarist, a bassist. And I just remember, I don't even remember how this came up. I think it was just like recommended to me on YouTube. And I was like, it looks like there's a lot going on here, so let me check this out. And then almost just kind of being overwhelmed by how much was going on. And that's just on the instrumentation and the compositional side, not even getting into the lyrics. Because as you said, his, I guess you would call it his flow, is just, it's so rapid fire.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't stop, really.
It's like he has so much to say and he wants to get it all out as fast as he can.
Yeah, but it's all, a lot of times when people speed rap, you have trouble following what they're saying. It's almost like there's an audio delay, and by the time you realize what they're saying, they're on to the next line already, and you need to kind of take a second to compute, and that's almost what happens here, because he really is saying so much, and there's a lot of like little punchlines here and there throughout the entire song. Even with the lyrics listed in the video, because it does have them as he's saying them, it's a lot to keep track of.
Well, yeah, like we were just saying, with the rapid fire part of it, like just as fast as they're coming up, they're going right back down again. So you have to be on your speed reading shit. But yeah, like it's one of those things where like the breath control to do that is just, it's one of those parts of music that people don't talk about enough. And it's incredible, because this was done in a park. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, I'm not sure what the original video, if there is an original video, how that looks and how it plays out. But either way, like since this is a submission, you got a show doing it live performance, I'm gonna guess, right? Because that's what you're gonna be doing at Tiny Desk anyway.
Right.
So for him to do this like that the whole way, straight through, is incredible. Because the breath control to be able to do that and still be like moving and dancing and, grooving, that was just, gotta give credit where credit's due. And I don't think we've ever really talked about that before, have we?
No, not really, no.
We don't watch a lot of live performances. Sometimes we do, but...
Sometimes, but not as common as a recorded version.
I was gonna say, so the very first quoted lyric that I'm seeing right now in the song was, "I'm not gay no more." I'm wondering whose that song is, if anybody's. But I'm assuming it's a song, because there's other ones later. Like if I scroll down, it even says, Sasha Fierce, "I'm a Savage." So Sasha Fierce was Beyonce's alternate ego, but I think she
Yep.
did like a guest spot on the Savage song. But isn't Savage Megan Thee Stallion?
I am not the correct person to ask.
I hope so. As I Google search, yeah, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if Beyonce was on there. It was on the remix, yeah. Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce Savage remix. So, all right, there. See, we got there. So that's what
Yeah.
that one's about. That one made sense. I don't know the song, but I Can't Change by Macklemore, but I know he had that Pop and Tag song,
Oh yeah, Thrift Shop.
Thrift Shop. I know that song by him. So, I mean, I don't know what that song is, but I'm going to assume that's another song by him.
Yes, probably.
The only one that isn't in quotations, and I don't know if that's because it was the third, and what you said is seeming to be the added one. But This Is America is a straight quote off of Gambino, but I don't know that it's meant to be, even though that's when he starts to talk about everything else, and that's the same name of the song that Gambino did, addressing these exact same issues 6 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
So it kind of feels like, like he's rapping about something that has to do with whatever, and then making those little nods here and there, which may or may not be his style, or at least is the style in this accent, or not in this accent, this take, this instance. There we go. In this instance. But then when you get all the way down to that last part, where he does start to get real political, he also starts off by saying about a song that is in itself very political.
Right. Yeah, and that is part of what I was going to say. As far as I can tell, the third verse is what is added on, because the first two verses are I mean, there obviously is commentary in there. I would say like social commentary, but it definitely feels personal. It's more like he's speaking about himself. There's a lot of I statements, I, etc.
Right.
And then if the last verse is really where it turns political and offers, of course, more social commentary. But
Right.
honestly, I love the line, "We need to take the whole country, then put it in rice, and then reset to factory settings." I'm like, that is such an innocent but poignant lyric,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like, ah, man, we made a mistake. Let's fix this.
Yeah, because I mean the next two lines start getting a little more intense. We need an apocalypse, probably. Oddly enough, I think even a rapture here wouldn't suffice.
Yeah.
And it's also like, can't we just put the country in rice?
For real, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, the lines that he follows up with it right after, too, are just as, on the nose as ever.
Yes. And that is something that I see discussed a lot. Listen, you can't go anywhere these days without like political discourse and arguments and blah blah blah. But I do always find the depiction of Jesus as a white man with long brown hair and a beard as like,
And blue eyes.
oh yeah, it's like he was Middle Eastern
Right.
according to the Bible. He was Middle Eastern, so I don't think that's how he looks.
Right.
But whatever. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe.
To not get too far down the religion rabbit hole of anything else, and we can skim over it after this, but if he did look that way and was Middle Eastern, it explains a lot of the reasons they didn't believe him and wanted to kill him.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Again, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Are we really did someone really start a cult over the possibility of someone being an albino in Middle Eastern and then not understanding what that meant?
I mean, who can say? The real answer is no one can. But yeah.
Anywho,
this song is just it's for, especially for its short runtime, and this is one of those songs where at the same time that I wish it was longer, I think that the length it's at is also still perfect, because this is something that I have trouble with as a musician, but I've been seeing a lot more when it comes to writing music, especially from like a lot of artists that I really enjoy, is that they will write shorter songs, 3 minutes. Not that 3 minutes is short. I'd say that's probably the average. But for a while there, for me personally, when I was writing music or am writing music, I'm like, oh wow, this feels really short. I should add more to it. I should make it longer. But I think that there is a lot of merit in writing a short song that is very punchy, that makes you just want to go back and listen to it immediately instead. Because it just packs so much impact in such a short period of time that you're like, I didn't get all of that. Or even if you did, it's like, well, I want more of that. There is no more for me to listen to, so I just have to go back and listen to it again. And this is definitely one of those songs for me where it's like, I could listen to it 5 or 6 times and be like, and pay attention to something different each time, or catch something different each time.
So if we go back to the first set of lyrics, like you were saying before, they're more like about me or I, whatever, and you were trying to say with the differentiating on the third verse being the one that was added in. Not only that, no, like the first 2 parts, no part of it feel like it has anything to do with that last part. Now, and I don't know where they start, and I think I'm gonna guess it's "'Cause I Mean," but it could also be the "I could use a Newport smoke but off the chain." I'm not really sure. But wherever they do come in at, you can tell there's a clear difference in the tone and the messaging of what's happening. So like,
Yes.
and I'm trying to figure out why they made that change, because it's not that it's not a good song, but it definitely feels disjointed when you see like the context.
Yeah, but I feel like even in the video and the music, like there it is an entire tonal shift in pretty much every facet.
Yeah.
Because the music changes. It becomes a lot more jazzy because it, not that it sounded like chaotic, and I'm sure you can hear the air quotes when I say that, but there was a lot going on, and then when it switches, as you said, to that "I could use a Newport" part, it switches to a much more jazzy feel. And even in the music video, if you watch it, you know, that's when they bring in a desk with the "change my mind" meme sign on it that Cameron sits down at to do the last verse in. And I do understand what you mean about it feeling disjointed, because it does in a way, but I think that they kind of make it clear in several different fashions that, like, we're switching it up here. Is it possible that it could be like, we could make this part its own song? Probably. But I don't think it's so far out of the realm of what was going on before that it feels terribly disjointed, where it's like, this doesn't fit. I think it's more of a, oh, well, this is different type of feeling.
Right, and that's the only thing I'm trying to figure out, like why not make it its own song?
Mm-hmm.
Just because of that. And again, like that's my only critique if I had to make one. Like if you told me I have to pick something out about this that I don't like, and it's not even that I don't like it, it's just that I don't understand it.
Right.
Like, and I think that if I heard the first version and was like super into the first version, I don't know how I would feel. I mean, like this would come out, and clearly, like we've talked about it before, some of these viewpoints are very like similar to how we would feel in some instances. And then there's the parts where it seems like, okay, you're making a stand, and that's fine. Good for you. I'm happy you're making that stand. And like, it gets to like the, if I were somebody that felt the opposite and I was a fan of this would be an instance where the group as a whole is trying to say, well, if you're listening to us and you feel this way, you shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah.
And it's put at the end of a song that already exists. That's where I get, and I don't hate them for it, because again, if it's a song that has been getting a lot of feeling or a lot of attention lately, and they want to make sure that it's going to the right people, okay, good for you for making sure that you're making the stand that you don't want people to be misguided and enjoying your music thinking that it means something different. Like, don't take our lyrics and use them for yourself. We're going to be very clear and cut who our lyrics are for and what our
Right.
messaging is, if you couldn't tell.
I think too, like hearing you explain it that way, it kind of gives me the thought of, and this is a discussion that we've had several times about actually like a lot of different media, because we we live in a society where things like remakes and remasters and all that sort of thing are very prevalent. A lot of people have complaints about those sorts of things where it's like, oh, I can't believe they remade XYZ. You ruined it for me. It's awful. It's
Right.
like, well, no, that's not true because the old version still exists. And if you enjoy the old version, you could still enjoy the old version while acknowledging that you don't like the new thing.
Right. I think we even had a conversation at one point about, I don't know if we did either in person or here, but it was about Star Wars and talking about that. Like, there's something, oh, you're making it for kids. Like, the first one was for kids. Look at Yoda. Anyway.
I think this could be one of those cases where it's like, oh, I can't believe they added on that last verse. It's so political, and I hate, that's not what I believe, and they're forcing on me. It's like, well, don't listen to this version. Listen to the recorded version that doesn't have that last verse. You could still enjoy it,
Even if it's not made for me?
even if it's not made for you.
Oh, you mean it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. This is going. I don't know how this statement is going to sound when I say it out loud, but this
Uh-oh.
doesn't feel like the kind of music that people that don't agree with that sort of thing would listen to. Does that make sense?
No, I think I know what you're trying to say. I think you would have
Like,
lost a lot of those people in the opening line.
right? Like,
Not the opening line, but you know what I mean. When we get into the everything else and all the other stuff that goes on in the conversation, because he's very openly with his sexuality as well.
yeah. Like, I just feel like if you listen to the first two verses and you're okay with it, and then you get to the last verse and you're like, oh, ew. You're like, what goes on in your brain that the first two verses you're totally okay with, and then the last one you're like, I don't know, man.
That's also very fair.
There's very little music, and this is something that I always do as well. If you've been listening to the show, and Steven, you know I do this, that I can listen to this and be like, yeah, it's kind of like XYZ. There is a band that I can think of that was pretty similar to this. They're not around anymore, but they were called Monkey Ear.
Never heard of them either.
As in turning the noun monkey into an adjective, monkeyer. But they had a kind of a similar style, alternative hip hop, kind of jazzy. They had brass and a lot of piano, but it was very rooted in hip hop. I'll probably end up putting them on the playlist just because it's one of the few similar artists that I can think of, and that's just something that I tend to do where I'm like, oh, if you like this, you'll probably like this. So beyond that, I think you can probably see why last week's episode was kind of like clicked in my brain to be like, oh, this kind of fits in that vein. Even if it's not completely similar, there are similarities with the sort of musical style, at least.
I was gonna say if it were for the beat and underlying music that was going on 100%, and the musicality for sure, definitely not the speed of the beat.
Definitely no. Mac Miller is a very laid back rapper.
Right, not even
whereas-
just the speed of the lyrics, just the speed of the beat
Yeah.
too. Like, I don't know, the beat was fast, but like there was more percussion going on regardless.
Yeah.
There's more everything going on, not in a bad way. Just there was it's the sound that they've created, which is really awesome. And I don't think we talked too much about that, but the sound and the actual beat itself was awesome. And I'm kind of curious what else they sound like in other songs. And I thought it was funny, the first verse in the first line was I got my beats on in the gym. I got my beats off YouTube. So like
Yeah.
I know you didn't just hate them from anybody. I know you're lying, but it's just funny hearing you say that you're taking beats off YouTube.
Yeah. Just go in and search free beats anyone can use. Just give credit.
One of the things that was both interesting and like felt artistically chosen for the reason, whatever it is, and maybe it was on the original one too, was that giant eyeball that they were in front of. Like it seemed like there was like a park, but like there was cars driving around in the area, right?
Right. Yeah.
At least that's what I think I heard slash saw. So I was trying to like, where could that have possibly? Like, I wonder where that was and where they're located, and what that giant eyeball is. And I'm wondering if they chose it for any kind of like artistic significance, like the eye's always watching kind of thing. Like Sauron's eye, to be really
I
nerdy.
can't say for sure, but it does say in the credits for the video, the eyeball is by artist Toady Tassett. I mean, it's huge. So, like, I don't know how that could be transported. I have to imagine that that is an installation, like an art installation, wherever they recorded the video, because how the hell else is that thing going to get moved?
Yeah, for real.
How are they going to transport it? I will say that the top comment on the YouTube video is, I don't know how they'll fit that eyeball in the Tiny Desk office, but I hope they do.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I do think it is like an allegory or whatever for, yeah, where we're always being watched. Because look, it's true. We all know it.
You know what I'm trying to decide right now as we look at it together on your screen? Is it really there? Because that shadow behind it seems pretty aggressive, but it also could be accurate.
Judging from the fact that none of them are casting shadows, really?
Right? But then, like, when they zoom in like that, like, it holds proportion. So that's where it throws me.
It's gotta be real. I think they probably just recorded it at like high noon so that there are no shadows cast.
I mean, they might have had some dampeners in the area or some other lights in the area to help kind of blur out their shadows, but they didn't do anybody else's because there's really no shadow on any of them. They're all very well lit.
Yes,
Also,
exactly.
real good pause right there looking at that crazy symbol. That's a wild symbol that he has on his kit.
Yeah. I think the other guy, that's the drummer. I think the percussionist has like a trash stack on his and all that fun stuff.
That's cool.
This was one of those songs that I really chose on a whim, that I don't know much about the artist at all, and I was just like, this song is just super cool, and I think more people need to know about it.
It is a very cool one, and I'm glad that you found it. And how did you find it? Did you say that? I'm sorry.
I really feel like it was a suggested YouTube video, and I just saw a still with the eyeball and all the musicians, and I was just like,
yep,
what is happening? I need to know more. I need to know more.
It was an awesome one. It's very interesting as well.
Yeah, I think we both know this is sort of outside of my wheelhouse of musical expertise, so that's kind of what happens with when I like make forays into like rap and hip hop. I'm like, I don't know anything about it, so I just kind of find the sort of weird off kilter stuff because I don't know.
I gotta say though, like the stuff that you find has really interesting like sound and artistry to it that you don't normally hear, and I mean I think that's what's great about it, and that's what's great about the different entries and ways that you find music too. It's like you just mentioned, you found it randomly because it was probably suggested to you, or it might have just been a video that popped up somewhere and caught your eye because of, like you said, the humongous eyeball and the large gathering of musicians. Like, what is this? This could be great or terrible.
Yeah, I think it was a YouTube short, and I think it was of like the third verse, part of the third verse, and I was like, okay, I need to hear more. I need to know what this is about.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would be enough to tantalize me to hear what else there was.
So I think with that, first of all, I will definitely listen to the original recorded version to see how it's different from this NPR Tiny Desk submission, and then yeah, I definitely want to hear more of their work and see how it compares to this song.
Yeah, I agree. I am very curious what they sound like in other songs. I'm definitely curious as well as like what the original would sound like, but I'm more so curious about what else they have.
Right.
I think that I would rather listen to this version again. Because I mean, if this is only what was it? 3 minutes and something, 2:52?
2:52, yeah.
So if it's 2:52 with that last part added on, like it's like what, 2:10?
Yeah, maybe.
So I mean, I feel like I'd be shortchanging myself almost. Because like you said before,
Yeah.
like it was so good that you want to hear more, and there is no more, so you got to listen to it again. So why not get, the last sip of milkshake from the bottom of the tin? You know?
Just go for it again. Yep.
And then listen to it again. But yeah, I want as much of that milkshake as I can get. I'm definitely gonna check this out though. Guaranteed. I want to hear more Cure for Paranoia to see what else their sound is, because if he does that and they do that sound consistently and that speed, I'm curious to hear more about it and hear what else they do to lyrically keep people interested. Because if it's just speed, like syllable rapping, I think that it might weigh on me a little bit. Not weigh on me, but I'd be like, I want to be able to hear what you're saying more than hearing it 15 times. Not that you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I want to be able to sing along also.
I get that.
So, like, not that I wouldn't listen to it because I can't, but that there's going to be times where, I might pass on it because I can't.
Oh, yeah. I get that completely. Like when you're just in your car driving, you're like, no, I need something I can sing along to.
Right. Not something that I'm like, this is like you're sitting down at the desk doing something. Like, this would be great for me when I'm editing pictures or like doodling.
It is worth noting, and this is kind of related, kind of not, but I do remember going to see Streetlight Manifesto. I've seen them many, many times, but I remember seeing them at the Crocodile, the now defunct Crocodile Rock, the Croc Rock in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and people passing out trying to sing along to the lyrics, because yes, Thomas Kelnacki does sing very quickly, but also the venue is packed to way over capacity, and they ran out of water to give to people, and it was probably like 120 plus degrees in there. So I'm just imagining like people trying to do that to this song in like a very packed venue, trying to sing along and just passing out from lack of oxygen.
Yeah, from like the first two lines.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even get past the first line of the verse.
Yeah.
It would just be a collective, but about a thud.
Just people on the ground.
And then there's just one person in the back in the middle, just holding up their phone. Woo!
Woo! Well, I think that's gonna about do it for me. I have no more notes. Besides, I want to hear more.
Yeah, my only
it.
note is the exact same thing. I want more. I want this song again, and then I want to hear more.
Yep.
I definitely want to hear more first. But I'm definitely intrigued. Those were all my notes as well. With that being the case, I think that means it's my cue to go ahead and ask you to listen to this previously recorded message. Thanks. Thanks for that killer introduction. Couldn't have done it better myself. Alright, Scoobs, time to get real. Cue the Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding. We do, first of all, want to say thank you for checking us out, and hopefully if you made it this far, you like what we're doing, and you want to help. And if so, here are some key ways. Most importantly, share our podcast with a friend or an enemy. We don't judge. We just encourage that organic sharing and growth, because that's how Scoobs and I learn about songs together when we do our episodes. Next, you can share our social media posts from Facebook as The Feedback, THE space FEEDBACK, or on Instagram, THEFEEDBACK. FEEDBACK_PC. You can comment, share, like, whatever you want to do. Just make it constructive at least. You can leave us a review on Facebook or wherever else you might be able to. I know some streaming services allow it. 5 stars would be great, and if not, tell us why. Next, you can check out our episode-inspired playlists. We send one out every week. We're doing it for you guys and ourselves, but mostly you guys. Keep listening to us weekly. That'd be awesome too. Or check out our old stuff. We got some catalog at this point. And the most important thing of all, just keep being awesome. Alright. Well, I think that was quite a bit, but I think it was all inclusive, and I hope you do it. I want to say thanks, and love ya.
And now that you have hopefully gotten done all the things that we requested with our social medias, I would like to give a thank you shout out to the artist who allows us to use his song for our intro and outro. That artist is Exile, and the track is Egg. Go check out Egg. Go check out more of Exile's music. It really is very good music to just kind of listen to while you're doing some work. It keeps you going, keeps you moving, but it's not too distracting. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. I guess my question for you, Steven, is: do you have a teaser for next week?
Not at all. Not even close.
Hell yeah.
Not even on my radar.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's better that way.
I agree.
Just picking a song on the spur of the moment, as they say.
Do they?
Why? What did I say?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you, and then you can join us next week for whatever we dig up next. Goodbye.
Did he just say what I think he did?
What? Spur of the moment?
I think that's what
I'm
you
just
said.
curious. No, I said sperm of the moment.
I thought so.
I am curious to see what the YouTube puts as related.
I definitely thought you said sperm of the moment, but I didn't want to call it out just in case.
No, I definitely did.
I wasn't sure if that was for me or for them or for who. It's for YouTube though? That's funny. So, I know we've talked about it before with the intrusive thoughts and all that. But I've had an ongoing intrusive thought, and I almost did it yesterday. And it's every time I make like the food for my animals, like I'm taking food out of a can for the cats, and then I'm also like mixing up dehydrated food to put on top. And every time I'm mixing it up, my instinct from mixing things and cooking in kitchens is to taste it to make sure it tastes right.
Taste it.
And every time I'm like mix, spoon up, like stop it, spoon down. And I'm really fearful that one day I'm gonna not catch it. I'm gonna be just too tired, or just a little like, not in the right frame of mind, and just ruin everything.
I mean, ideally, it won't happen at all. But even if it does, hopefully you'll just take a tiny little taste, and not like a big whopper spoonful.
Yeah, I hope so too. But like, it's not gonna go well for me. If it goes wrong, it's gonna be 100% just like have a whole coating of your mouth. You'll never taste the same.
Yum yum.